Hi, it's Zoe, it's Friday, haven't done a live for a while, Feature Friday. Today I'm just going to talk about something that is coming up a little bit, things I'm seeing on social media, is wonky waistbands. And so what does that mean? What does a wonky waistband mean? Now I will say that if your waistband is wonky and you are absolutely fine with the way it's fitting and you're comfortable, you're happy, then, ignore all of this. However, in my experience, a wonky waistband causes quite a few issues. So if we've got something that's got a firm padded waistband like this Boba X, what happens if I have it slightly wonky, as you can see, is that all the pressure is pushing down right down to here, can cause pelvic floor issues, leaking, lots of things like that. The other thing that tends to happen is because of the weight coming down, its baby tends to sit a little bit lower. So how do we fix it? What does that mean? Why do we get a wonky waistband? So generally what that means is that it's probably not tight enough when we put it on in the first place, so that there's a little bit of slack somewhere around here, and as soon as we put baby's weight in it, it tips it down forwards. So you can see I can lift that waistband, I can actually get my hand up and through that waistband. That is not snug enough for my body. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to bring it up to where is snug, support my baby, and now you can see how much slack I have behind me. And I'm going to pull, and until it's secure, then I can let go of my baby. Now we are talking about micro adjustments here. We're not talking about anything major. So now what you can see, the top of this waistband is sitting straight. That is infinitely more comfortable, and that was a very minor shift. So what I've got is I've got the waistband now supporting baby, I haven't got pressure pushing down low, and I've got a nice well supported back. So what we need to make sure we're doing when we're putting our carrier on before we get our baby in, that it is nice and snug, because ideally we don't want to have to be adjusting our positioning once we've got our baby in the carrier, because actually we're working against gravity, lifting up, and that can be a little bit harder. Now how you adjust your waistband is going to vary depending on what you've got. This one has buckles either side, so I can pull both. Different carriers will have just one, maybe the buckle might be fixed to the side rather than this one's more in the middle. So the way I pulled it, it's not directly in the middle of my back. It's not affecting my comfort. So what I would say is go through your checks. Can you be hands-free? Can baby breathe? Yes, I can see my baby's face. You may not be able to see the baby's face, but I can see my baby's face. And they're nice and clear of breast tissue. They're nice and high on my body, which is going to be far more comfortable for me. What you might find once you've done that is actually you then need to adjust your shoulder strap. So again, lift the weight, take it round, pull it down, and bring any slack round, so that then you can pull, or on this one I can pull backwards as well, and the same on here. Take it round, bring it down, and then you can tighten depending on which way you want to pull. So this one you've got two options, it depends on the carrier what you've got, but anytime you're making adjustments, go through your checks again. Can I see my baby's face? Can I be hands-free? And am I being comfortable? And now what often I see is that people are using carriers, potentially suboptimally, and they don't realise it's not comfortable until we do these little tweaks. And so people are like, oh no, it's fine, it's totally comfortable. And then you're like, so I often talk about this being a bit like when you sit on the sofa and it's comfy, and then you plump your cushions up and you get snuggled and you move the cushions, and then you're really comfy. So, you get into bed and you might plump your pillow up a little bit. So often these micro adjustments can make a huge impact to your user experience, your comfort, and ultimately your baby's comfort as well, because they're going to feel a lot more supported. So what does that look like when we put our carrier on? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to unclip, bring this over and show you what that means. So what we need to do is make sure that this waistband is sitting nice and snug on our bodies. So loosen it to take it off and unclip. That way, when you go to put your carrier on next time, it's already got space for you to clip it together, because if it's already tight enough, I'm not going to be able to clip it together. So start a little bit higher than you think, go round and clip it. If you find that difficult going behind, absolutely start at your front. Some people, depending on the size of your buckle, you might find it's really difficult to clip in. It's catching my jumper. There we go. So if I leave it like that, that's clearly too loose. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold it to my body there, and then I'm going to adjust. So that one I can't tighten that strap anymore, so I'm now going to go to this side I'm just going to pull it parallel. Parallel, small little movements like that. That is really nice and snug. I cannot push it down. So if at this point you're getting your baby and it's a bit loose, as soon as you put your baby's weight on it, if I loosen it, you'll see, as soon as I put any weight on that front, that's going to tip. Okay, which means that I've got quite a lot of weight sort of pushing down, and the carrier is not doing as much of the work. So lift it back up, and again, you can tell, if you can get your hand through your waistband, that is too loose. So what we're going to do, again, hold it so it's nice and secure, bring that looseness round to the back, and then pull and tighten. The best thing to do is actually do it slightly too tight, because if it's too tight, it's actually easier to then loosen it once our baby's in versus trying to tighten it once our baby's in. So what we're looking for is a straight line. It's as simple as that. No wonky waistbands, no tipping. You know, if I really push that down, of course that's going to push it. It's still fairly straight actually, but if it's too loose, it will absolutely go wonky. And that's just going to impact kind of all of those things that we said about your ease of use, your comfort. And if you're not comfortable carrying, then you're not going to be carrying, which then actually isn't ideal. If you really need some support with your carrying, what I would say is seek support from a trained consultant or a sling library, wherever you are based. I do also do online consults if you need fit checks and things like that. So I'm also going to do a quick reel on this, and it will link into my blog post about 5 steps to get your buckle carrier comfortable, which I will be sharing soon. I hope that's helpful. Any questions, let me know and I will come back to you. Have a great weekend.